In the year 1519, a civilization of 1 million people stood at the height of its power. Their capital city was larger than any in Europe. Their temples touched the sky. Their empire stretched across an entire continent. And then, 500 men arrived on the shore. The Aztec Empire, known to its people as the Mexica, had ruled central Mexico for nearly 2 centuries. At its heart sat Tenochtitlan, a breathtaking island city built in the middle of a vast lake connected to the mainland by great stone causeways. With over 300,000 residents, it was one of the most magnificent cities on earth. Markets bustled with gold, jade, and exotic feathers. Priests climbed sacred pyramids to honor gods who demanded blood. Warriors trained from birth to conquer and expand. This was a world unto itself, ancient, powerful, and completely unaware of what was coming. In February 1519, a Spanish captain named Hernán Cortés sailed from Cuba with 11 ships, 500 soldiers, and a burning obsession for glory. He landed on the eastern coast of Mexico, a land no European had ever truly explored. Cortés was brilliant, ruthless, and impossibly bold. He burned his own ships so his men could never retreat. From that moment forward, there was only one direction: forward, into the unknown. Word of the strangers reached the Aztec Emperor, Moctezuma II. The timing could not have been more fateful. Ancient Aztec prophecy spoke of a god named Quetzalcoatl, a feathered serpent deity who had left the land long ago and promised to return from the east. Cortés arrived from the east. He arrived in the very year the prophecy foretold. Moctezuma, shaken and uncertain, made a decision that would doom his empire. He did not attack. He invited the strangers in. When Cortés and his men entered Tenochtitlan, they could not believe their eyes. Palaces of white stone, floating gardens, zoos filled with animals they had never seen, aqueducts carrying fresh water. One Spanish soldier wrote that it was like the enchantments in the books of legends. Nothing like it existed anywhere in the known world. And yet, beneath the awe, Cortés was already calculating, planning, hunting for weakness. Cortés seized Moctezuma and held him hostage inside his own palace, a move of breathtaking audacity. The emperor, bound by his own beliefs and paralyzed by indecision, cooperated. The Aztec warrior class watched in fury and disbelief. But the cracks were already widening. Neighboring tribes who had long suffered under Aztec rule saw their opportunity. They joined Cortés by the thousands. What began as 500 men was now a vast and deadly alliance. Then violence erupted. Spanish soldiers massacred hundreds of Aztec nobles during a sacred festival. The city rose up in rage. Moctezuma was killed, by whom history still debates. Cortés and his men were driven from the city in a desperate, bloody retreat across the causeways. Hundreds of Spanish soldiers drowned, weighed down with stolen Aztec gold. The Aztecs called it the victory of La Noche Triste, the night of tears. But the battle was far from over. Cortés regrouped. He built warships on land, carried them over mountains, and launched them onto the lake surrounding Tenochtitlan. For 75 days, he lay siege to the city. And then came the weapon no army could fight: smallpox.
The disease, carried unknowingly by the Europeans, tore through the population with apocalyptic force. Tens of thousands died, the streets filled with the dead. A civilization that had never encountered this invisible enemy had no defense. On August 13th, 1521, Tenochtitlan fell. The last Aztec Emperor, Cuauhtémoc, was captured on the lake as he tried to escape. The greatest city in the Americas lay in ruins. In just 2 years, 500 men, armed with steel, horses, alliances, and disease, had destroyed an empire that had taken centuries to build. The Aztec apocalypse was not just a conquest, it was the end of an entire world, and the beginning of another.